Hello. A couple of months ago, I was selected to represent England at the Commonwealth Archery Championships of Europe. This took place in Scotland, in Ayr, and it's one of three England shoots that you can take part in throughout the year. The other one is the Indoor Nationals, and the other one's the British Target Championships. This is the only other target archery England shoot that there is. There were 8 male recurve archers, so I was one of 8 male recurve archers selected to shoot. And for a bit of background, the format is 72 arrow qualification, and then mixed team and team matches. So when I got selected, I decided that I would make a video diary. Kind of a journey through what I was working on, why I was working on, equipment changes, form changes, see what things did in the weather, see what happened when I did certain things, and what happened to the groups and what happened to the arrows. Just so that when I went to the England setup and did what I did, I could look back on it and see what helped and what didn't help. So what I decided to do was put it into like 3 bite-sized videos, essentially like a match of the day highlight reel of what I did, so that if anybody else is selected at county level, international level, it's probably different at GB level. If any of those people think, crap, what do I do? They can have a quick look, see what I did, see if anything translates to them, see if anything helped me, see if anything helped them. So, and hopefully it gives people a little bit of an insight in what it's like to shoot at an England event, because not many people get the chance. So what follows is the first week. Hopefully that gives you an idea of where I'm going with this. I'll do a full recap at the end of my experience of what happened and how I felt and how I still feel. What it did to me in terms of the way I think about myself. Because to go from a county level shooter to an England shooter is quite a mental switch. So hopefully I'll address that and I'll talk about that. If there's any questions, please ask. I'm not gonna bite your head off. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. I hope you learn something from it, or I hope it entertains you in some way, or if you waste your time, I'm sorry you've wasted your time. Okay, see you in a bit. What did I do? Okay, so I've just come off of shooting 120 arrows. Things that went well. I locked out the front arm, got this completely set, drew back against it. I could feel the muscles in my back coming around, and when I came up to anchor, I still had the back engagement. I still had everything engaged at the back, and I was able to come through. It was a bit, as I got tired, it was a bit laboured getting through, but I was still able to come through and have a pretty clean release, which was nice. Yeah, I got my 120 hours done. I think that's the biggest take back from tonight's session. I mean, it wasn't for score, it was just shooting into the bag. If I open my stance, it's hot. I have to move the clicker to come through. I haven't got as much coming through, so if I find that I am struggling to get through, either this needs to be locked out, or I just need to open up slightly to come through. Anything else? Can I think of anything else that might be useful? So yeah, just basically the shot tonight was come up, find this position, engage the back, tie it to the anchor, straighten the bow, check the string alignment, expand and release. Nice and clean, dead easy. Dee-dee! there. There we go. Right, so I am at the outdoor range now. So here we go. It is raining. There is slight movement to the left on the flanks. So what I'll be working on today is an extension of what I was doing yesterday. It's literally just trying to find that back engagement, make sure the release follows its way around, and just a nice shot really. I'm going to start with 60 arrows because I've got 20 in my quiver, so I just put all 60 down, find the 6 that group the best, or the 12 that group the best, and then go straight into scoring. So let's get cracking. Okay, so the plan was to start off, shoot 3 ends, and then go into a scoring end. The rain dropped and the wind dropped, and then all of a sudden it was a good tuning place. So I shot 20 with it on 5 at the biter. Got the group, moved out 3 clicks, got the group 5.3. It closed the gap quite small. It brought the group into a smaller group. When I moved it to 5.6, the group got a lot smaller, and when I moved it to 5.9, it got a lot smaller. Then I put some tape on my finger because I wanted to have like a blister or a cut or something on my finger, so I wanted to protect that. However, what that did to the group was the group was, as the group was getting shorter, it was still up and down. But when I put my tape on my finger, the vertical just went whoosh, went straight down to nothing, but the horizontal opened right up. So that was interesting to see what that did to the group. So yeah, there was a couple that were dotted in the lower right hand side, but the majority of them were gold bound, about the size, just about outside the size of the outside of the gold, at yeah, horizontal as you like. Don't know why. Took the plaster off, and the groups went exactly back to how they were. So I went to 6.2 on the biter. That opened the groups right up. For some reason, that opened the groups right up. So I went back to 5.9. The groups went back down, but they were still up and down. I'm not sure if that's mental or whether I need to shift the clicker or not. That is something that's going to be decided. So, what am I going to work on in this session? This session, I'll be working on maintaining the feeling of loading it onto my back, so I'll be taking my time with it. So, in this session, I will be looking at trying to maintain keeping it on my back, making sure that I'm getting the feeling that's coming around. I'm going to try and use the delay camera to rip through the release, make sure that that's coming. I might stick the mantis on to see how consistent the release actually is. The process, see how consistent the process is. It's a mantis. my second session, I changed the angle of the camera. So instead of focusing on my release, I was focusing on how my arm was coming in and around. And if you look at the videos, what I was doing was I was coming back to here, finding it with my thumb, bringing it in, then coming around. So what I started to do was come back, bring the whole unit in and in, as it should be. It's definitely worth starting with that next time. The camera angle from the back, so I can see it coming in and I can see it going through, because it does add a lot to the clicker. So it makes it quite easy to get through, but if I don't do that, if I don't bring it in, there's a lot to try and physically pull through. So I need to have the correct alignment and technique if it's going to be successful for me. How it groups down range, don't know, I'll find out tomorrow. But I will need to set up the giraffe to capture that view so that I know what I'm doing. The release is coming along nicely. I've got to keep working it. Fingers feel fine. 35 hours down, no problems. On the Mantis, 96.1 and 96.2 over 2 sessions. It's quite respectable.
Hello. Okay, so it is 6 o'clock in the morning. I am down the range and it is peaceful and quiet. It is exceptionally nice. You don't usually get this kind of atmosphere. No wind, a little bit of rain, but nothing that's gonna spoil the enjoyment of just nothing, just bliss. Okay, there are 33 days left until the Commonwealth Archery Championships of Europe. I'm down here because I can't make the evening session, so I'm in the mornings. So I'm shooting 6 till 9:30. I'll get as many hours as I can done. Working on today, I'm going to try and set up the camera so I can see myself from the back angle, just make sure my arm is coming in and around and locked up, rather than coming in, finding and going. So I'll be doing that. Keep an eye on my release and just make sure I get as many clean shots off as I can. I will also be, that's form, bow tuning. I will be setting up, just double checking where the group lies for 36 arrows on 5.9, maybe click it into 5.6 on the biter and see where that lands. If I have time, I will make an adjustment to the knocking point and see where that goes. So that's my session. Let's crack on.
Okay, so let's see if this one works. I'm re-recording this because the audio was lost, so let's be nice and quick. So the weather was perfect, no problems at all, no rain, no wind, so I decided to do a bit more knock tuning. The biter is currently set on 5.6, left and right seems perfectly fine. I started knock tuning up and down knocking point. I got to 13 mil, and I've got a tight group, very tight, with a couple of outflyers. The outflyers they seem to be a result of an incorrect knock fit, because the knock doesn't fit inside the knocking point as easily as all the others do. So I'm going to take a look and see if I can get the knocking point or the knocks sorted. So technique wise, I found that wrist was kinking in. I was coming into and then around rather than around as I got tireder. Need to solidify the core. If I have the core tight all the way through the shot, grips are fantastic. Keep the core nice and tight. And the release is consistent. It's still a bit openy and it's not as tight as I want it to be, but it's still getting there. Don't reach out with the thumb and find that, because that's where the wrist comes in. It comes in to reach, to up, to round. That needs to be one movement. So as soon as that is sorted, we'll be happy. So 33 days to case. Yeah, so roll on the next session. So the next session is I've got. So for the next session, I'll be shooting into the bag today and doing SPTs. I've got 110 arrows to make up, so it should be fairly simple. And keep working, keep the camera set up, keep working on coming around as one unit and coming through while keeping the core tight. So unit, core, that's what I'm working on next. Excellent. I have finished my indoor session of 110 arrows. Technique wise, I started off with the camera at the back of me and I started looking, and it is getting there. It's taking its time. It's not instant, but it is getting there. So I'm happy about that. The release looks good. Everything looks good. There's not really much to add apart from this. I'm on this morning. The shot by the end was feeling good. It was feeling solid. I've got a few videos of the clicker where the arrow there's zero creepage on the way forward, so that means I'm coming back up and I'm still moving around. I feel very kind of braced within the bow. It feels like a gust of wind isn't going to knock me about that much. My core is withdrawn. I'm slightly leaning over. It feels like I'm slightly leaning over, but I'm inside the bow. So everything feels good. I just need to translate the feeling outdoors. So tomorrow's session is an indoor session, hopefully, if I can get some arrows done. Just should be able to get some arrows done. So I'll just concentrate on getting that over the bow and inside. So it's over and inside. If I'm going over, it crunches my core in and keeps my core steady, and it means my hips don't swerve. The coming back, the wrist, when it bends in to come round, that's less frequent. Coming through the clicker is literally just to kind of squeeze to get in. When I bring this in, when I bring the wrist in to come through, I come back, and instead of coming into anchor, I come up to anchor, which kind of adds a little bit extra onto the string, which goes straight through. So I know why I'm doing that. I just need to stop.
Morning. It's 6 o'clock on Thursday. 6 o'clock in the morning. There are 31 days till case, which is the Commonwealth Archery Championships of Europe. Back at the range again, a bit wet, but not raining, just wet on the foot. Zero wind, nice conditions. So today's session will be focused on finding that shape again, finding the way it feels to me is that I'm leant over the bow, but I'm not, if that makes sense. It feels like it, but according to the videos, I'm not. I'm looking to find the come back with the drawing arm straight into anchor. No kinking of the wrist. Straight in and around, constantly moving. Nice clean shot. Equipment wise, I'm still going to be playing with my knocking point. Hopefully I'm going to sort the gap out so that all the knocks sit nicely on the inside. Working on anything else? No, literally once the knocking point's sorted, I may go 3 clicks stiff, 3 clicks weak, see what happens, and then take it from there. Let's have some fun.
Okay. Yay, hello. So it is 32 or 31 days till case. I have just finished the session outdoors that I started at 6 a.m. I shot 138 arrows, most of which at 70 meters. Equipment wise, I was playing with the knocking point. I moved my knocking point to the top of the rest, to the bottom of the rest, and I got an exceptionally good group when combined with, I had a 14mm knocking point at the top knocking point, the bottom of the top knocking point, and 5.9 on the pressure button. I tried to get to 5.6, the group opened up again. 5.9, I had 3 consecutive groups where near enough everything was in the gold. I think there was one in the red each time, which included, first of all, 6 10s, then 8 10s out of 12 arrows. So I'm quite happy with that. Check the measurements before each shoot to make sure that everything is consistent. Also check at the end of each shoot. Just check at the beginning, check at the end. Then we'll know it's been consistent all the way through. no equipment changes, which is great. So hopefully I can lock everything down now, not touch anything till case, and I have a good set of measurements that will give me good groups. It's open. Okay, right, good morning. So it is 30 days till case, Commonwealth Archery Championships for Europe. I am continuing my training and I have target set up at 70 meters, and today I am shooting for score. I'm still going to put the delayed video camera up to see if just to watch my form. Obviously I'm still working on trying to, as I'm coming round, stop this then this, stop the wrist coming in before it goes round. Still working on that. Still working on putting my hand in the grip in a consistent place, slightly deeper along the lifeline, just to get a more solid connection with the shot. And that's pretty much it really. I've got 204 arrows to do today, so I'll get as many done outdoors as I can at 70 meters, and then the rest hopefully I'll be able to do inside. At short distance at blank bale, just working on technique. So that's my goals for today, and that's my aim. So let's crack on. Finished 144 arrows at 70 meters. Like what I was saying earlier, I had noticed that the arrow started creeping forwards. I looked at the tip of the arrow till the clicker started to fall away, and then I looked up and I aimed, and I came through. Timing wise, it's much better. Much better. I need to make sure that I am watching it till it starts to fall away, but then I don't lose any of the movement. I keep moving, always moving. Some of the groups I got were fantastic, like really good. Like I had 10-sized groups with no problems at all. Some of the flyers were flyy as I'm working on it. Obviously it's going to take its time to bed in a bit, so hopefully I'll have enough time to get it set in for Evesham. I mean, the last group that I scored was very wide, like tiny that way, but very wide. I think that was just because I wasn't holding my string picture as high regard as I had done, so I need to make sure that the string picture is as paramount as anything else in the shot. I think that's where pretty much most of my left and right variation comes into play. It's just a string picture. So string picture and keeping the bow vertical, that's what's in terms of so that was everything technique wise. Obviously keeping the grip in, and the hook isn't as consistent as I want it to be. I'm trying to get a good hook, but my hands seem to be just not happy with where they want to hook at the moment. It seems very inconsistent. So again, that potentially has knock-on effects for left and right, but also the release and the anchor are slightly inconsistent, so I want to nail that down as quick as I can. Yeah, that's as far as it goes technique wise. Equipment, the only thing I did was my brace height slipped to 9 inches and the groups kind of exploded a bit. I shifted that back to 9.25, which is like 9 1/4. 9.25 inches, flip that to there, and groups came right back in. So I'm going to keep it at 9.25. Tiller rocking up at 4 mil. The biter button still on 5.9, and I'm not sure if I mentioned my knocking point, but that's up at 13mm at the moment. I'm happy with that. It seems to work well. The bow seems to shoot really, really well, and now it's literally just a case of keep shooting, keep videoing, keep the unit coming around. Down at 70 meters, I managed to get about 108 arrows in today. 323 for my first score then, shooting in arrows of 12. After that, I was trying a few different bits. I tried a different colour string to try and eliminate some of the left and right. As the light changes, my arrows drift to the right, so as it gets darker, the string picture either narrows down and the string comes in, or something else. But that's basically what I figured out. I got a few high arrows, but that's because of the gap in the knocking point on my green string. Yeah, nothing really to talk about. I mean, the groups were really good. I was very happy with the groups. It is quite literally just a couple of odd errant arrows that always kind of drift out there. I am a bit concerned that the shot is taking too long. I'm a full draw for a lot of time, and if in windy conditions, I'll be tense and I'll not be able to hold that an awful lot. Just got to keep coming back and moving back. There seems to be a lot to expand through the clicker at the moment, but I'm not sure if that's because I myself am fatigued or what that is. So next session, it's literally going to be about timing the shot. See if I can get up and get through, get up, get through, and then next Saturday is the final leg of the national tour. So hopefully that goes quite well for me. So that covers the first 6 days from when I found out that I was representing England. It was the first 6 days of training. The next few videos will be in increments of 6, and there is a total of 6 videos. So this is going to be like a little mini series of training. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something. I hope you've got something to take away from it. And hopefully you will enjoy the rest of the experience. So, bye.